welcome back to Tennessee Grilling and Smoking. I am Dustin, and today I'm going to try something that I saw on videos that has looked really good, but I've never tried it. I'm going to cut up the brisket, and we're going to make brisket bacon smash burgers. Hang tight. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I ain't going to trim this brisket up like I'm cooking it. I'm just going to take the hard fat out of here and maybe just some of the gristle, take it out, then we're going to slice it up and we're going to put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour. We're going to let it harden up a little bit, and I'm going to try out my new grinder that my buddy Brandon got me, and I haven't used it yet either. So today's going to be a lot of firsts, so I hope everything turns out good. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do, just this hard fat right here, I'm going to take all that out I can. Take this off. Right here. And probably trim some of this off right here, and I ain't going to do very much more to it. I'm going to leave the fat cap on because everybody says whenever you do this with brisket, leaving this on there and trimming this up a little bit like that is going to get it close to your 80-20 that you're looking for on your hamburger, that I look for on my hamburger beef anyhow. So I'm going to finish trimming this up. I ain't going to make you sit here and watch me the whole time, and I'll see you here in just a little bit. Alright guys, you can see I just went ahead and I got most of that fat cleaned up around there, around the edges. Everything's looking good. I left the left the cap on there. I didn't trim any of it really. So what I'm going to do now is just start cutting in little strips right through here. That's what I want to feed into my meat grinder, and so that's what I'm about to start doing. So, and another thing, this is when a big old cutting board like this shines, guys. So a big huge thank you to Greenback Designs for this. I always put a plug at the end of the video, and I always put their link down in the description. If you want to, guys, go and check them out. They're really good. They do a lot of good things. But anyhow, let's get right to it. So I'm just going to start maybe strips about like this. About like that is what I'm going to leave. And that's about 80-20 right there. I mean, I'd say pretty close to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut up this brisket like this. I don't know, maybe even cut these in half, maybe, I don't know. But we'll see. I got this brisket on sale for $2, about $2 a pound, which is not bad. This is 12 pounds, so we're looking at ground beef usually around 3 to 4. Heck, I think maybe 5 around here. What my wife says, she's the one that does all the shopping. But I think this is going to actually save us a little bit of money, because this is going to put out quite a bit of ground beef. I've been excited to do this ever since I saw the first video on it, because everybody says just the brisket burgers are so much better than just a regular ground beef burgers. They just taste better to them. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited to try it out. We'll go ahead and do it. But I've also said that I don't like any other burger now cooked any other way than a smash burger, because I'll tell you what, just the flavor on that crust on the smash burger is unreal. So that's how I've made my burgers ever since I started doing that. So I think doing a brisket smash burger might be the key. I might throw some bacon in there in the mix, and we'll just see what comes out of it. So I've got them all cut up like this, and I believe what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get them in the freezer. Put them in there for about 30 minutes or so, let them get a little harder, and because that's what they say to do with these, because this is the first time I've ever used the meat grinder, so I'm a little nervous of how this is going to turn out. But everybody says put a little bit of chill to your meat before you put it in there, and it'll work out a whole lot better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator for about an hour, and I'll see you here in just a minute. Alright guys, I've got my pan here, and I've got my new Altra meat grinder, courtesy of my good buddy Brandon. Thank you, man. This is its first maiden voyage. We're going to see how it does. But these have been in the freezer for about an hour now, and they might be cut a little They might be cut a little too big. We'll probably end up having to cut some. But I went ahead and I cut them into slices like that, but I don't know. It might work. So what I'm going to do now is I've just got my coarse in there, my big coarse grinder. We're going to grind it in there, see what it looks like. I'll probably come back around with the medium coarse, or whatever it's called. But here we go. Chewed that thing up like crazy. Oh man. Yeah, for sure I'm gonna have to cut these up into smaller pieces, but this thing is absolutely chewing these things up. Look at that. My gosh, that looks good. That fat in there, I don't know, maybe I should have trimmed that cap up a little bit. That looks like a little extra fat, but we're going to go with it because the videos I've watched they said not to even trim up the cap, and that wasn't that bad on that one. But anyhow, all that's going to do is cook out on those flat burgers. That's what's going to make it that good flavor, I hope. So let's cut these guys up a little bit more, and I'll come back with you here in just a minute. Okay. Well, this might be better. I cut them up into little pieces like this, and that is a little bit more fat than what I was looking for. I believe that is a little bit more than 80/20. So on the pieces I cut up, they had a lot of fat on there. I went ahead and trimmed that cap up a little bit. And I'm just going to grind these few pieces, see what it looks like. And if everything looks good, I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera off and finish grinding all this up. And let's hope it turns out pretty good. So here we go. Oh, that was a lot better. Yeah. Definitely needed to trim that up some more. Yeah. You can see right there. That is what I was looking for. That looks really, really good. So yeah, I believe what I'm going to do is as I cut these up into smaller pieces, I'm going to go ahead and trim that cap off of it a little bit more. Not too much, but I'm just still going to leave some, but yeah, definitely not as much as on there already. So I'll see you here in a second when I got a big bowl full of ground up brisket. Alright guys, that was just one Ziploc bag. I've got one that's a little bit fuller, and look at all that ground beef I've already got off of this thing. That is unreal. I'm debating on whether or not I want to go back with that course or not. I think that looks pretty good for a smash burger. I don't know. We might try the next bag just with the a little bit finer, but I am extremely happy with this. This looks great. Check it out. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this next bag going. I'm going to throw something a little extra in this next batch. Alright guys, we'll take this attachment right here off. Set her aside, we'll get her cleaned up here. And I've got one that's just a little bit finer. We're going to stick in. We're going to see how that does. Alright, we're back. We got these cut up, and now they're ready to finish up here. Colson's pretty intrigued by it. He said he wanted to stick some down in there. See this hole right here? Don't put your finger down in it, just drop it down in. Go for it. You get this? Put it down in there with it. Alright, good job, bud. Let me knock the rest of these out real quick. Yeah, I'm definitely liking this finer grind a little better. Alright guys, you can see right here the difference between the medium and the big there. I'm definitely liking the medium, looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bag this up and put that in the freezer. That's good ground beef, and this is what I'm going to use for my brisket burgers today. But when I redo this and on the medium, I'm going to add some applewood real smoked bacon in the mix. I'm going to have some bacon brisket smash burgers. Hopefully this will turn out good. We'll find out. Hang tight. Alright guys, got my bacon, got my brisket. We're going to throw it in here. We're going to mix it up together. And hopefully this will turn out like I'm planning. Alright guys, there it is. Boy, that looks good. That's your brisket. That's a whole thing of bacon in there. We're going to do these things like smash burgers, and I hope that these turn out great. I have a feeling they will, because this looks really good. I'm super impressed by this Altra. It didn't miss a beat. It just, every bit of it I threw in there, it didn't bog down. It just right through it. So hey man, love it. So let's get this thing, let's get these in here and let's get them patted out here in a minute and make some smash burgers, some bacon brisket smash burgers. Be back. Alright guys, this has been in the refrigerator for about probably 2 hours or so, just to get it nice and chilled again. What I'm going to do now is I've got my my Sucklebusters SPG, and I'm just going to throw it to it. I'm just going to mix it all in through there. Alright, I got my brisket and bacon mixed up, and I got it seasoned in with that Sucklebusters SPG. Smash burgers don't take no time at all to cook, so once I throw them on the griddle, it's just going to be a matter of minutes. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start. I've got my mushrooms, some onions, and some garlic I pressed out. We're going to go ahead and get that sauteed and shot over to the side. So come on over. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to throw down some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to throw down the garlic. We're just going to spread these mushrooms out. Now the mushrooms will take a little bit longer than the onions, that's why we're going to put them on first. Just going to spread it out. A little bit more olive oil to it. Now I've got my first two burners on this side all the way up to high, because this is where I'm going to do my smash burgers. Over here I've got this one on low, and I've got this one over on this side just completely turned off. So we're going to do mainly most of our sauteing right here. That way when they get done we can scoot them over to the side and forget about them. We're going to leave these on here for a couple minutes or so. We're going to flip them around and then we'll throw the onions to them, and then we'll go from there. Alright, the mushrooms are looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and slide them over to the side a little bit. We're going to go ahead and throw the onions to it. Put down a little bit more oil. Alright, the onions are getting a good little look to them, so we're going to go ahead and mix them all in. We're going to bring it all together. Who don't like a little bit of mushrooms and onions? Alright, we got them mixed in pretty good. Everything's looking mighty fine. Let's slide them up here to the top right corner. We're just going to forget about them for a little bit. Alright guys, now for the star of the show. What we're going to do is we're going to take a handful. We ain't going to patty them out or nothing. We're just going to make a little loose ball there, because we're wanting all that fat not to be packed in, because when we smash it down, that's what's going to give it all that flavor. It's going to cook in its own fat and it's going to be delicious. We're going to do 2 patties per burger. Alright, so we're going to make us up 2 good burgers real quick. Alright, so what I'm going to use is I've got my bacon press. We're going to use some parchment paper on top just to keep it from sticking at all. So let's go ahead, I've got this on the first two burners up on high. It's about shooting about 530 degrees, 540 degrees, so it should just be perfect. So here we go. All right, guys, we're just gonna drop them on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just gonna get my paper. I'm just gonna get right there and I'm gonna push. I'm gonna do the same thing. I should have worn my glove on these. Lordy. We're just gonna get them as flat as we can get them. Alright, we're gonna let them sit there for about 3 minutes or so. About 3 minutes, we're gonna flip them. Now, one thing you want to do with the smash burgers, you don't want to just use a regular spatula. You want to get one that's got a real nice sharp edge. And these are a set I got from Galee's. They've got a great 5-piece set there. I really like them. And two of the things actually come with a nice sharp point to them. It's going to be perfect for these. So we're going to let these sit here for about 3 minutes, and we're going to scrape, because that's what you got to do. Is you got to scrape it, because you don't want to lose that crust. That crust where your flavor's at. So we're going to scrape it. We're going to flip it. Then we're going to throw the cheese on it and let it set for about a minute, and we should have us a burger ready. Alright guys, it's been about 3 minutes, so what we're going to do is we're going to push down, we're going to scrape these up. We're just going to give them a flip. Oh my gosh, look at that. Man, all that right there you see is just flavor. Oh man, check that out. That's going to be nice. Alright, so we're going to let that go on there for a minute, but while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and put the cheese on it. Alright guys, they're looking pretty good, so what we're going to do is go ahead and get us some up. There's one. Look at that. There's two on that one. Boy, I'm telling you what. That right there. Alright, we're going to take this over here. We're going to get us a little scoop of onions and mushrooms. We'll pour it right down on top of it. Alright. Now we got our burgers out. Now I've got my special sauce made up already. And this is just a, we got a third of ketchup, a third of mayonnaise, and a third of mustard. And I put about 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire, and I put about a tablespoon of Pete's hot sauce. What we're going to do is we're going to take that, we're going to drizzle it right over top of it. We're going to take a little bit more, we're going to stick it on the bun. Just like that. All right, let me bring you in a little closer. There you go. Brisket Bacon Smash Burgers. Sautéed onions and mushrooms on there. Boy, we can't wait to taste it. Alright guys, this is the guy right here that made this possible. He was the one that got me that Altra grinder, and he's also going to be he's going to be the first one to try the Brisket Bacon Burger. Alright Brandon, you think it's cooled down enough?
I hope so.
I hope so. Huh?
That's good.
Is it good?
It's real good.
Oh, son, I gotta dig into it now. Well, you can see that crust right there. That's what we're looking for. My gracious. That right there is 10 times better than any ground beef I've ever bought at the store. I've made smash burgers hundreds of times, it seems like, but man, that is by far the best one I've ever tasted. I can even get a hint of that bacon. Can you get any of that?
Oh yeah.
Man, that right there is hands down the best smash burger I've ever made in my life. And I hope that y'all try this recipe. check it out. And hey, if you like what we did, give us a big thumbs up, and I will see you next time.